So we have Maurice Sam and Chioma Nwaoha star together in this movie titled Something Borrowed. Now there's a lot to say about this movie, both good and bad. So the story follows Uche, played by Maurice Sam, a first-class university graduate forced into life as a POS operator while struggling to pay the hospital bills for his sick mother and support his sister through university. Crushed by responsibilities and frustration, Uche becomes desperate for a way out. In his desperation for wealth and relief, his friend Gerald introduces him to a secret cult, one decision that changes his life forever. So Something Borrowed is currently showing on Maurice Sam TV on YouTube. Movie produced by Maurice Sam and directed by Chijioke. Now firstly, let's talk about the poster of this movie. Men looking at the poster of the movie even before you watch the movie itself. With Maurice Sam's look in that poster, the two different look where there seemed to be some kind of transition between rich and poor, and even the way the title of the movie was designed, you'd guess that the movie would be a cult horror secret society kind of movie. And when that special score started playing during the opening credits of the movie, bam, I was sure that it was definitely going to be a secret society kind of movie. So Something Borrowed is basically a character-based movie, and Maurice Sam was responsible for the story of this movie. But definitely this isn't a new narrative, just that the narrative came with a very important lesson behind it. So before I continue with this review, quick heads up just in case you haven't seen the movie. This review will come with spoilers, so spoiler alerts. And yes, the movie has its positives and its negatives, and I'll be looking into all of that. Now, the movie features themes of love, adversity, power, wealth, loss of identity, regret, and many more. Now, like I said, it's a character-based movie, and the movie managed to touch one harsh truth of life. Just like how one can be a first-class graduate, but life can still end up dealing with you. Such was the case for our character Uche. Now, for our female lead Chioma Nwaoha, there's a lot I have to say about her character, but I'll get to her part later on. Let me start with our male lead Maurice Sam. Now I must say Maurice Sam perfectly portrayed that facial expression of someone whose life was frustrating and seriously dealing with. And why is it always after they've initiated someone into a court that they then get to hear the absurd prices that they have to pay? And by then it would be too late to go back. Why? Just why? Just like how the character Uche was given two unbreakable rules that he must follow. The first one being that he mustn't sleep with one woman twice. And the second one being that he must never directly or indirectly help his family members. Bro, the money was useless at that point, and it was too late to go back. So you see what I was talking about. Now I have a question. Why is it that all these so-called wise ones, their eyes are always up, waiting them to find them? Now for our female lead Chioma Nwaoha, now honestly speaking, I didn't really get anything new from her character Zoe, Uche's love interest. Her character was sort of underdeveloped. Now, when she later reunited with her ex-schoolmate Uche, quoting her, she said, "Don't worry, now you've got your friends," which meant that she wanted to help Uche out of his troubles. She was basically the one that went to Gerald and asked of Uche out of concern. But after she met Uche, she disappeared. It was only after Uche became initiated into that cult. 2 weeks later, he became filthy rich. She then shows up and she was on a date with him. Now with how quick, how fast Uche made that money, there should have been suspicion, right? She should have asked questions, but she didn't ask anything. It was sort of surreal. Okay, that aside, let's talk about how slow-witted she was made to look. How could you walk in on something as dark and creepy as that, and the character Uche told you that they were just playing a truth and dare game? And my sister, you believed? Wow. Wow. And let's not forget the way the character Uche overreacted when she was playing around with that skull. That should have hinted something to her that something was wrong somewhere. But no, our sister didn't at all get the hint. And quoting her, she was like, "Wow, look at what I found. Such a beautiful piece." That score has been lying around in that living room, and you were just noticing it then, towards the end of the movie. It was just surreal. Now, support roles like Gerald played his part well, and even Juliet Kelvin, who played the character of Oluchi, Uche's sister, she played her part well. Her acting wasn't bad. And Tessy Brown, who played the character of Uche's mom, she played her part well, and she also looked the part for someone who was sick. Just that sometimes the way she spoke was over dramatic. Open the gate, let your mother rest her old bones. Sorry, no, I shouldn't be laughing. But there was an error here. The scene where Uche's mom was supposed to be dead, the camera captured her breathing, and that made it surreal and unrealistic. Now, a hospital was one backdrop that this movie came with. And to be honest, aside the patient's room that the character Uche's mom was in, that hospital didn't at all look like a hospital. The atmosphere that depicts a place of a hospital wasn't there at all. No nurses, doctors, patients to use as background extras. The hospital was just so dry. It was just that one doctor and Uche's mom that was there. So the hospital wasn't looking authentic. Now the music, that is the special score and the sound design were really good. It complemented the movie a lot. Shout out to Shedrack Dennis for that. Now to wrap it all up, the narrative wasn't new, that's for sure, and it was predictable, just that the lesson behind the narrative was a good one. And Maurice Sam carried the show, his acting was good, but this is definitely a one-time watch for me. So I'll be giving Something Borrowed a 3 out of 5 thumbs up. If you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll meet you there. Bye.